What was the significance of the Regulating Act of 1773? The Regulating Act of 1773 was a landmark constitutional measure introduced by the British Parliament to bring the East India Company under governmental control for the first time. Before this act, the company operated largely as an independent commercial enterprise, but its growing political influence and administrative responsibilities in India necessitated regulation. The act recognized, for the first time, the political and administrative functions of the company. It marked the beginning of central administration in British India. A major reform was the designation of the Governor of Bengal as the Governor-General of Bengal, with Lord Warren Hastings being the first to hold this title. The governors of Bombay and Madras were made subordinate to him, centralizing authority. The act also established a Supreme Court at Calcutta in 1774 to ensure judicial control. Moreover, it sought to curb corruption by prohibiting company officials from engaging in private trade or accepting bribes. Finally, it increased the oversight of the British government by requiring the Court of Directors to report revenue and military affairs, laying the foundation for greater state intervention in India's governance. This act was the first step toward formal British colonial administration in India. Q2. What were the main features and impact of the Amending Act of 1781? The Amending Act of 1781, also called the Act of Settlement, was passed by the British Parliament to rectify the shortcomings of the Regulating Act of 1773. One of the key issues it addressed was the overlapping authority between the Supreme Court and the Governor-General in Council. The Act exempted the Governor-General and Council members from the Supreme Court's jurisdiction for acts done in their official capacities. Similarly, company servants were also protected for official actions. It further clarified that the Supreme Court would not have jurisdiction over revenue matters, thus separating administrative and judicial functions clearly. This was crucial to prevent interference in revenue collection by the judiciary. Additionally, the Act ensured that the personal laws of the communities were respected. Hindus were to be tried under Hindu law and Muslims under Islamic law. It also laid down that appeals from provincial courts would go to the Governor-General in Council and not to the Supreme Court. Furthermore, it empowered the Governor-General in Council to frame rules for the functioning of provincial courts and councils. Overall, the Amending Act of 1781 helped reduce conflict between the judiciary and the executive, and clarified the structure and scope of authority, thereby stabilizing British governance in India.